Hi, how you doing? My name is Brandon Taylor. Welcome to the Minor A Nationals 2023 Sunrise Little League. We're very excited to go ahead and get started with this season. We're very excited to have put together our team. We've got some great kids, and we are looking forward to some great memories and having a great time together this season. Um, I appreciate that life is really crazy, so I decided to put together this video in advance so that way we can get all the necessary information out to everybody, and we don't have to really take any more time away from your busy schedules. As I appreciate that, as I struggle with the same thing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. My name is Brandon Taylor. All of these links will be provided to you. I have a welcome letter for you. This slideshow will be shared to you. All of these links are live, and I'll be sharing them with you so you can reference them. A little bit about me. I was born and raised in Stockton, California. I played for Delta Little League. Played football and baseball at Bear Creek High School. I played at Delta College, and then I played baseball at Delta College, and then I went on and played baseball in Missouri. I worked as a collegiate strength and conditioning coach for many years. Also owned a private facility. Some people around town know me from that. Um, and I worked at the professional level as well as the collegiate level. I work in Stockton Unified School District. I proudly serve students with moderate to severe disabilities. I work for the district office. I taught at Cesar Chavez High School for several years in the orthopedic impairment class. So if you're an SUSD person, you may have seen me around. I coach baseball at Delta College, and I'm the director of sports performance and baseball performance at Club All Star, which is a travel baseball program and training facility here in Stockton. My wife is Corey Taylor. You'll see her a lot. She'll be communicating through the app as well as with you guys out there on the field. And we have 4 children. So right off the bat, just understand that my wife and I are very involved with this little league, and it takes an absolute army to be able to do this. So I'm going to go over some parent handbook highlights and expectations. Our goal with the Nationals for our team, and this is our third year coaching T-ball all the way here, is we pride ourselves on leading with exemplary behavior. We really work hard to make sure that we are the leaders on the field, that we uphold all of the standards that Little League as well as Sunrise, and most importantly, our children. As a person as a professional that works with children for a living in multiple different capacities, our kids are watching what we do. And we will lead we will be the example, and there is no exception to that. It is not tolerated on our team, and you'll learn that very quickly. So we will always have respect for our league officials. They are volunteers. At any point in time, if you would like to go to the snack bar and get yourself a volunteer application, you could do this for free also. There will be a zero tolerance. We will respectfully ask you to leave the field. And that is not just what the league expects. That is what our team expects. So please, let's just not let that happen. Please arrive on time. If you can't make it, please communicate via the app, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Understand that all practices are optional. I've never seen an 8-year-old that has a driver's license that can drive a car. So I can never punish a child for being late or missing. It is as the adults, we are the ones that get our children to practice in games. And I, as a father of 4, I fully appreciate the fact that life is nuts. Oftentimes, we feel like our lives are held together with just dental floss. We're busting apart at the seams. So I will never punish a child for not missing practice. Just understand that your attendance is generally going to be predicated on the growth of your child and the memories that they miss out on. But I will never punish a child for being late or missing. So all of our practices and team activities are optional, and I want that to be known up front. Helping in the snack bar is mandatory. It's a mandatory part of the expectations for our league. Not only is it an expectation, the game will not proceed. and we will have to forfeit if we do not have parent snack bar helpers. We have a list of parent jobs that I'll be sharing with you in a Google Sheet. Every family on our team will have a job and a part of our team, and I feel it's very important for our families to take ownership and feel that they are as much a part of our team as our children are as part of this team as well. So those dates will be made available to you. We'll put them out in a Google form. I'll be using Google for everything, and I'll be communicating everything through the app, which I'll explain to you here in a minute. We are required to also help umpire games as a requirement for participation in Sunrise. Again, if we don't uphold our end of things, we will have to forfeit games, and that's really tragic that our children would suffer because of that. So those are things that will work out as we get going. If you're not comfortable to do that, there's other roles for you as well. So there's literally hundreds of hours that my wife and I invest in this to make this go smoothly. And this is not a one-man show. I need help from the families. I drafted our families. I drafted our team with our families in mind, because you all are a very, very integral part of our success this season, on and off the field. There is something that I have very little tolerance for, and that is parent coaching. I can talk to you from a baseball performance perspective. I can also talk to you from a special education professional perspective. And developmentally, when our children are participating in sports, one of the things that they seek your approval first. They hear your voice over everyone. And oftentimes what you are telling your athletes is competing with what we are trying to teach them as coaches. So as a parent, it's kind of your time to just take a back seat, chill out a little bit, and cheer for your players. That is the number one thing. We promote positivity in all that we do. And there will be no exceptions to this. Okay. I have no zero tolerance policy for parent coaching. You will cheer for all players on the field, no exceptions. And I will expect our fans to cheer when the other team makes a great play, the other team gets a hit. Our fans should be cheering. It's all about the kids. It's all about the environment. And there's zero exceptions to that. We cheer for everyone all the time. It's positivity, positivity, positivity. Okay. I am investing my time and my expertise to coach your child. And if you're filling their head with competing ideas, no one's going to win, I promise. And the player will be the one that ultimately gets harmed in this. Our first practice will be a team practice. That's what I'm shooting for. And then I'm a big fan of small group individual instruction. It allows me to really dive in and instruct our players and develop them, and show them. And show you as well. So one of the things we'll be doing an assessment, not the assessment that they do for tryouts. This will be a more in-depth assessment. We will be looking at throwing technique, which we'll talk about a little bit more on that. We will follow the MLB Pitch Smart guidelines. We will have a healthy arm care program. UCL injuries in youth athletes are absolutely unacceptable. And we got to do a better job about strengthening our kids and bringing them along following a quality throwing program. So I will be doing video assessments. If you would like to help, the best thing to do is contact me, and I can share these videos with you. I can talk you through some of the expectations I have for your child and some of the things that we'll be working on throughout the season based on their deficit areas. The best thing that we can do is get on the same page and speak the same language. So the elbow, that's dead, that's gone. People don't hit like that. So if you're yelling that and I'm telling them to relax their elbow, relax their hands, relaxed and smooth as fast, things like that, please reinforce that. And I can explain to you my philosophy. I can explain to you what I'm trying to teach. And I have no problem doing that. It's better that we're all on the same page. The most challenging thing for youth athletes is bat to ball skills. That's why you won't see us do a lot of T work. It's about bat to ball skills. It's about developing the ability from a neuromuscular perspective to be able to track a baseball and hit a moving object with an implement. It's very, very challenging to do, and we're asking 7, 8, 9-year-olds, maybe even 10-year-olds to do this. Again, if I hope we don't get to this point. The first offense for sideline coaches, I will personally give you a warning. I will talk to you about it. And provide some clarification around that. And the second offense, I will remove your child from the lineup and send them to you. You can take them off to the side and you can coach them on what you feel like they need to be coached on. But they'll be out of the lineup for the day. So if you need to do that, you can go coach them off to the side, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. But when we're in the middle of a game, our dugout is a sacred area for us. It's where our kids have to feel safe. It's where we communicate with coaches. They communicate with their friends. And I do not want parents coming to the back of the dugout and giving their kids instructions during the game. That's just not what we're going to do. We're going to lead by example, and we'll cheer for everybody. That's how we're going to do things. So understand the majority of children really seek parents' approval. They really, really seek your approval. So pleasing you is what they want to do, and I promise your voice is always going to be louder than our coaching staff, so please reinforce them with what we're trying to coach into them. I have here, and some of you guys that are baseball fans could probably look at this stat line, and you can figure out who this player is. It's a local kid that I had a pleasure of knowing as a child. This is Aaron Judge. If you look at these stats, yeah, he hit 62 home runs, had 177 hits, but if you look at that batting average, 311, you look at the amount of times that he struck out, baseball is a high failure game. Your child will strike out. Bat to ball skills are very, very difficult to develop. It's very challenging for a kid to track a ball to a ball that's moving and hit it with a bat that's an implement, right? That's very challenging. Your child will make errors. They will happen. Major League Baseball players make errors. Division I baseball players make errors. These things happen, okay? We will lose games. We did not get into this at the minor A level. We compete in travel baseball. We do that. I coach in college. I've coached at the varsity baseball level. There is a time and place for the competitive environment, and that time is not now. That time will come fast, and then things get really serious and things change fast. This is about having fun and developing our kids. We will celebrate strikeouts the same as we score a run. That sounds crazy. People think I'm nuts when I tell them that. But your child is going to experience the biggest letdown after a strikeout. And the best thing that they can do is turn around and see their guardian or their parent, and they give them a thumbs up and a high five, and they let them know that it's okay. It's okay. This is a failure game. I show Aaron Judge's stat line because a player that succeeds 3 times out of 10 is a great player. In Little League, a player that succeeds 4 times out of 10 is a very, very good player. Okay? Everyone fails. We cannot hit the ball if we don't swing at it, and we will miss a lot, and that's okay. Please work with us to have realistic expectations for your child. When a child strikes out, they will feel your reaction. Please be encouraging and support your child. The worst thing you can do, and I lived it, is you turn around and you see this one. Everyone's going to fail. It's hard to do. If everybody did it, everybody'd make $35 million a year playing professional baseball, and it just doesn't happen. Those people are anomalies, and they work very hard. Okay, we will celebrate them whether they get a hit or strike out. Please do the same. I'm very, very blessed to work with some assistant coaches that I've coached in other sports with, that I've coached for a long time. Positivity, positivity, positivity is what we preach. And I am very, very thankful that I have other men that support our children and believe in this concept as well. It's positive all the time. I will communicate through the GroupMe app. I'm like you. I get enough text messages. I get enough things. This is kind of a way for me to put things on the shelf at the end of the day. Those of you guys that know me, I take this stuff really serious. So oftentimes I can get pretty spun up at the end of the day. This is a way for me to disconnect, and I can just leave those things in the app and deal with them as they come. Okay. All communication will be done through the GroupMe app. please do not text me or my wife. Please keep everything through the app. Okay, this is a way for us to separate. Okay, I take my family time very serious, and this is a way for us to separate. Okay, those two things. We can communicate through the app. It's no big deal. It comes through like a text, or you can disable that feature however you'd like. Okay, I will post weekly practice and game notifications on the app. Everything will come through in the app. Simply select yes or no. Simply select yes or no. That's all that I ask if you will be attending practice game or an event that we will have. The reason why is because I really try to focus on planning. I like to make sure that I have my groups bucketed so that my athletes who need to work on certain skills or certain deficit areas are getting reinforcement of those things, and I build groups based on the amount of athletes that I have in attendance. If you don't respond that you're coming, I will most likely count your athlete out, and then when they show up, then I'm scrambling to put them in the right group. And it's just not respectful of anybody's time. So please just respond with yes or no. That's all you need to do. You don't need to tell me anything. If Johnny's got sniffles, it's fine. Just yes or no. That's all we need. Okay. All Google documents will be shared via the app. Everything I do, I'll share through the app. Any YouTube videos that we create, anything will be shared through the app. Okay. This link right here on the left is live. So if you need to go to the Apple Store or the Google Play Store and download those Androids, if you're an Android user, you can download that app and you can use it and you can communicate through it as well. I'm very fortunate that I work at Club All-Star, and we have access to the Club All-Star facilities. If you're unfamiliar with what Club All-Star is, okay, we have access to turf fields, lights, indoor facilities, you name it, we got it. We have the best technology. We have everything that you could possibly imagine, okay? In San Joaquin County, there is none better. Please respect the facility and its employees at all time. Pretty straightforward. I don't think that'll be an issue. Enter through the main gates, and myself or a Nationals representative will direct you where to go. I believe in small group practice. It allows me to divide and conquer. One of the biggest challenges with training athletes of this age, even through college kids, is behavior management. If I have 12 kids standing in a line and I'm hitting one ground ball to one kid, that is literally the most boring baseball practice in the world. And I promise you the kids in the back of the line will hit each other, untie each other's shoes, blow snot bubbles on each other. I've seen it all. If I can break them up into small groups, I can deliver far more relevant instruction to your athletes that's going to really get them where we want them to go, and make them and have them love baseball and develop a really tight-knit little group of friends that's ultimately the goal. Okay. So small group practices will be held on Mondays, Wednesdays, or Tuesdays, Thursdays, depending on what it is. And I'll get you more details as we go for signups on those. Those are going to be held from 4 to 5. And then we'll also have one, possibly two later sessions available for anybody that can't get there at that time. Okay. These small group instructional sessions will focus on hitting. Okay, we will do video analysis. Will be done at their first session to determine athletes' training path. What will their training path? I call them buckets. Most young athletes exhibit certain things that are pretty common, so we'll bucket those things accordingly. Throwing, this will focus on the development of proper throwing mechanics. Like I said, UCL injuries or ulnar collateral ligament damage injuries are incredibly prevalent with young athletes. So everybody talks about arm strength, throwing strikes, things like that. One of the things that we will really focus on is using a throwing plan. We have a plan with our throwing. We have a plan with how we are going to attack this year. We have pitch count plans based on phases throughout the season. There's really nothing that goes into this that's not thought out. And ultimately the health and success of your athlete is what's most important. Defense, individual defense sessions will focus on developing proper infield and outfield mechanics. It's really important that's one of the biggest things that the small group allows us is one, when you've got a bunch of 8, 9, 10 year olds with bats, that's terrifying. Okay. So we need to make sure that we maintain a safe environment that's productive as well. Same with defense. We can really break things down on a macro level, and we can really look at things individually and assess where we need to go with not only our own training, but how we can progress your athlete through the program to get them the most results. And athletes who are successful enjoy the game more. So one of our goals is to make this as fun as possible. So athletes that are successful early generally love the game more. So that's our goal. Give them success, build skills that translate to the game so that they love baseball. Team practices will be held on Friday nights until games begin. Our opening day is scheduled for March 25th, which gives us a solid over a month to be able to train. And then practice schedule will change a little bit. We'll be playing twice a week. So in my opinion, that's quite a bit of volume and demand on families. So we will adjust accordingly as that gets close. But team practice will be on Friday nights. Again, we're very fortunate. We have lights. It's fun. We have a lot of fun with it. The first 2 or 3 practices will be at Club All-Star under the lights due to it getting dark so early. And then the goal would be to shift those practices to sunrise so that they can acclimate themselves to the field. And it's not as challenging to get your athletes there as well. So by focusing on individual skills in our small groups, we can develop more time to team defense, offense, and base running to maximize our training time. We call it training economy when we really look at the amount of time that's available. Most of the time in team practice is spent building individual skills. So if we can delineate the two and we can build those skills in a small group setting, we don't have to break up and work on hitting. We don't have to work on the things that we would need to do because we only have an hour and a half. So what we want to do is make sure that we maximize our time in building team concept. How do we play the game of baseball? Rundowns, proper base running, first and thirds, outfield situations, backing up bases. We totally maximize our time by not having to focus on the individual skills, working on team skills. Parent help. This is not a one-man show. Like I said before, my wife and I dedicate hundreds of hours to ensuring that this is the best possible experience for our kids. So parent participation is a requirement on our team. This is simply far too much work to be done, and I will ask for your help. Even if you can say, hey, coach, I can set up a net before every game. You know what? I'd appreciate that. If you could build that net for me, and that's one thing that I have to not worry about, fantastic. That's great. So our jobs, here's some jobs that we have available. Parent apparel coordinator. Again, we want everybody on our team to feel like they're a part of it, parents included. So we are going to coordinate some team apparel. Don't quite know what that looks like yet. There's some very creative folks that we know that they're going to get on top of that. But parent apparel coordinator, we'd love for everybody to look uniform. We'd love for you to support your child. We'd love to be able to show up to the field, and we know who the nationals are. We know who our people are. Okay, team meals. You're welcome to bring snacks. But we have a team meal that is possible to be purchased through the snack bar. I'll distribute more details on that as we go. Some of the best memories as a child for me after Little League games was running into the snack bar with my friends to get our hot dog, soda, and now and laters. It was literally the greatest time of my life, and doing those things together. So if you want to purchase that, you can absolutely purchase that. If you want to bring your own snacks, go ahead. We'll coordinate that too. It's only a few dollars more to just purchase the team snack, and then you don't got to worry about going to Smart and Final and picking everything up on a whim. So we need a banner coordinator. I love the banners. I think it's great. I think we're just going to go with a flag this year, a big Nationals flag. We put that thing up. Maybe somebody can write the kids' names or do some felt stickers or something on it. But a banner would be great, so we know who we are. Where kids are proud of it, and they see it, and they see our flag flying, and they love it. Field setup and breakdown, games and practices. If your job is just to help me set up 2 nets before every game, I use nets. I break everything down into you'll see our warm-ups are going to look very different than the other teams. If you want to help me set up some nets, great. Love it. That'd be awesome. Umpiring, we discussed before. That's something that's a little more detailed. We can discuss a little bit later. I need an official scorekeeper. That's an incredibly important job for us. That helps maintain pitch counts. That has to be submitted to the league. That's a very, very important job. And I would really love some help with that. Snack bar assistance, like I said before, we are required to provide snack bar help for our games, or we will be asked to forfeit games. Dugout bucket coordinator. I am a very organized person when it comes to baseball, as you'll see. We use buckets that we put underneath the benches. It's essentially like a drawer that our kids put water, batting gloves, helmets, anything that's important to your athlete goes in that bucket. I like all the bags out of the dugout. I don't want the kids digging through them. I put them in the bullpen. I want everything that's important to that child to be in the bucket because I don't want to say, Michael, you got to run to right field. I don't know where my hat is, coach. Check your bucket, Michael. Oh, there it is. It's in my bucket. Okay, so we go out to the field. Organization is incredibly important. So we're going to go ahead and do that again for a second year. I'd like somebody to run the Game Changer. The Game Changer is an app. It's just a way for us to track. Sometimes folks can't be at practice or at games rather, and they can tune in on the Game Changer, and they can. A lot of grandparents, a lot of siblings, a lot of family members. You can use the Game Changer app as well. Printable game schedule coordinator, as well as other consumables. If another parent would like to take that on and build me some spreadsheets to help communicate, I will communicate on the app, but sometimes it's nice to have it hanging on the refrigerator that you can put in your family calendar or whatever you need. Okay. Umpiring help, we already discussed that. Team outings. On-field bonding is really only half of the experience. We're building. We really want relationships on our team. That's what's important when I think about my son. I want to make sure that he makes friends, lifelong friends, people that he'll remember for the rest of his life. That we'll talk about, in 20 years we'll still be talking about. Hey, remember the minor A nationals? Remember so and so. So those are going to be outlined at a later date. Very fortunate. I have some contacts with UOP, so we're going to be attending some UOP baseball games, and hopefully I can get the kids down on the field or reserve some areas and meet the players. And it's a great opportunity for us. This is a great opportunity to watch Division I baseball up close and personal right here in Stockton, California. Although professional baseball games are fun, they're a lot of fun. But in reality, a lot of our players making it this far is statistically very small. Playing college baseball is an attainable goal for our players, and one that will change their life by providing them with an education that will serve them lifelong. So I'm a big fan of college baseball games. I think that it's a wonderful way to let our kids see high-level baseball and start to develop possibly a dream that's obtainable that could serve them lifelong. Stockton Ports games, there will be a Little League night. We're going to try to get to a couple games. It's another great way to bond and see some higher level baseball, right? See some professional baseball. Team barbecues and get-togethers. My fondest memories as a child were not on the baseball field. They were slip and slide with my teammates and otter pops with my teammates. And those are the relationships that are forged by time spent with teammates. Swimming, playing tag, basketball, wiffle ball, or just being together. The number one focus, and please understand, the biggest thing I want you to take away from this little video that I shot for you guys is the number one focus on our team is to grow and nurture relationships and make memories. That's the goal. They won't remember how many games they won or lost, but they'll remember the times that they were on the slip and slide with their buddies. They will remember the time that they played wiffle ball at a team barbecue. Those are the things that are most important. Baseball cards. One of my favorite things to do is distribute baseball cards often, all the time. We give them out for everything. Cards are awarded for effort, great plays, attitude, respect for others, and whatever else we decide to give them out for. As always, my goal is to build a love for baseball. And I have found that cards are a great way to do this while creating incentive and using them as a behavior reinforcer. That's the special education professional in me. I use them as behavior reinforcers. You do great things, you get a reward. You uplift somebody, you treat someone with kindness. You gave your teammate a high five after a strikeout with the bases loaded, which is really tough to overcome. 4 or 5 guys are there. They're the first ones in the dugout to give them a high five and let them know that it's all right. Those are the things that are going to get baseball cards. We want positive citizenship. We want great behavior. Those are the things that we're really trying to build. So we'll often ask the kids to read the back and tell their teammates about their cards. So this reinforces reading and decoding skills as well as building public speaking and social skills. We also promote that math literacy by teaching them some basic statistics about baseball, right? If you got 3 hits for every 10, what's your average? You hit 300. Okay. So my thing is invest in a card book or a box for your players to store and display their cards and get and talk to them about their cards. This is a Ronald Acuna Jr. card. This is Aaron Judge. I buy cheap cards. You're probably not going to get an Aaron Judge card, but you'll get some other guys too, right? So one of my greatest joys, and this is one of my favorite things that happens, is when parents tell me that they pulled their old cards out of storage and share them with their children, and that's those types of memories and bonding are just priceless. You get to talk about it, and you get to share your cards from 1980s, and they get to talk about their cards too. So I mean that, and that's the dream. That's the goal. That's what I want for you. We're gonna do some different things. If you're a mom or a parent, grandparent, guardian, that's been that's had your kid in baseball for a long time, white baseball pants are a nightmare. They're impossible to keep clean. You're gonna do everything you can. Blood, ketchup, mustard, blood, eye black, you name it. Big League Chew gets stuck on it. They're a nightmare. We're gonna go with blue baseball pants this year. We're gonna go blue pants, blue tops, red belts, red socks. All of these are linked. These are all linked, so everybody can buy the same thing. It doesn't have to be the same pant. The socks I recommend that everybody get the same one. The red belt's a red belt, but these are all linked. We're gonna go with blue baseball pants this year, so you can keep them. You don't got to worry about keeping them crispy white all the time. Post COVID, a lot of people. I found a lot of athletes really like to have their own helmet. The league provides helmets that 100 other heads have been in. If you're cool with that, no problem. We'll have team helmets. They're required to have them. We'll have helmets for you. You see here, you can have the C flap. We are allowed as a league rule. We can have a C flap on the helmet. It has to have a C flap, or it has to have the full cage. One of those, either of those is acceptable. But if you'd like to buy your child a helmet, I recommend it. And also at Club All-Star, when we're in the cages, it's a requirement. They have to have a helmet on. They cannot be in the hitting facility without a helmet. If you are going to buy your child a bat, okay, there's a lot of confusion about bats out there. It needs to have the USA Baseball stamp. USSSA bats or anything of like are not allowed, and the consequences are actually pretty severe if you're using an illegal bat. Hopefully in minor A they wouldn't be too bad, but it needs to have a USA Baseball stamp if you're going to buy your child a bat. One of the other things, and we got to get on this pretty quick, is a bowl-a-thon. Okay, the league, one of the biggest fundraisers we do is a bowl-a-thon. Each team is responsible for building a basket. You can see at the bottom there, that's the basket that our team put together last year. It's pretty difficult for everybody to get on the same page with this. So one of the things that we've generally done is if you can just donate $15 to the basket, to my wife, we will build the basket. If you're a parent that wants to help out and take the charge on that and take some stress off of my wife, that would be wonderful as well. We are asking for $15 donation. This is not mandatory, okay, to purchase supplies and build the basket. And like I said, down at the bottom, you can see the basket that we built and donated, and I think it got a pretty good price last year too. So it's a great way for our league to build, to generate some funds for the things that we need. They're important for our league. So there are more details that will come. I wanted to get out ahead of this and shoot you guys a video so that way you guys can be plugged and informed in the loop. Stay tuned in the next couple of days. I'll be getting out to you what our practice schedule is going to look like. I would like to get together. Our team to have our first team practice and team bonding as soon as possible. I'm really excited to have a great year together. I hope that you are too, and I hope that we can work together to do the most important thing, and that's to provide our children with the greatest experience possible so that they love baseball and that they make friends and they have the most positive experience possible. I'm committed to that, and I know my assistant coaches are, and I'm really looking forward to a great year. Thanks.